All right, and good evening to you. It is time for the North Florida Blitz. We just wrapped up with South Florida. We're rolling on to North Florida here, and as we roll along here, good evening to you here on the FloridaHSFootball.com social media networks. Josh Wilson here with you here as we will bring everything recapping week number 9, and I suspect hello, Reno. Let's go, North Florida, where we don't get tired while playing football. Oh, he's got the call-outs. Wow. All right. As we roll along here, good evening to you all and everybody. If you're not following us, follow us on social media. That's at FloridaHSFootball and X/Twitter at FLAHSFootball. And Mark Cannon says, Reno ain't tired, and I'm not tired either. And Mark Cannon, I'm sure you are not tired either. So there you go. That was for you, sir. Ooh, we have good times here. We do have good times here. And we appreciate everybody joining us here on the North Florida Blitz here on FloridaHSFootball.com. And again, good evening to all of y'all here across the Sunshine State, especially those in North Florida. For those that, for those that missed the joke, watch the previous show, the South Florida Blitz, that just aired not too long ago. All right, good evening to y'all. And it is time to get rolling here with some Blitz lines. And we're going to start off here. If I got my notes set here incorrectly. What happened here? They're right here in front of me. That's why I moved them to the side here after I was getting ready in there right here. All right, how about this? Pace continuing the hot streak into the playoffs. To our playoff march, I should say, 29-6 victory over Pine Forest. And how about this? The Patriots had over 300 yards total offense, and Ben Tyner and Mikael Williams had both of them had on 30 yards plus rushing. And how about this? They're the biggest test coming up here on Friday for a district championship. And that team, I believe, called Tate, Tate. We will talk about Tate too coming up here along the way. And just a couple of things, if you see there in the rundown, Reno, can pace be stopped? Well, Tate, I said, don't you look ahead in the rundown. That school named Tate might have an answer for that, but we will see what happens here. Pace looking pretty good here, especially the fact that if y'all remember the debacle last year, Pace 8-2 missed out on the playoffs because we had some wacky things happen. And some teams, Mosley and Nice, won district championships. Were not expected to won district championships and upheaved the Class 4S Region 1 bracket last year. So, but Pace looking pretty doggone good right now, and got to give it up there for those Patriots there on a roll. All right, as we roll along here with our show here, we're talking about Escambia squeaking by Crestview 23-20, and Nino Freeman 212 yards passing. And the defense had 3 interceptions, so 3 takeaways. You got to like that as well. But nice beat Pace. Thank you, Stephen, for kind of helping me here, because I think it was Tate wants to say. But you're right. Navarre would win the district if they beat Pace and Crestview loses to Tate. Interesting enough, Navarre's still in the mix, but what makes it interesting for that district I should bring up here is that if Navarre wins, that would create some major upheaval in the region in Class 6A Region 1. But right now, Navarre's not even in the top 10 right this second in terms of rankings. But if they beat Pace and Crestview loses to Tate, otherwise it could be a 3-way tie. So, talk about some interesting things here. That if Navarre beats Pace, but Navarre has kind of been sluggish here a little bit at times, and I'm just not so sure. But pace has been rolling, and I got to give it to the Patriots. But anyways, back to Escambia, 212 yards passing by Nita Freeman, 3 interceptions. Got to give it to him here, but yes, the Escambia squeaking by Crestview 23-20. And as I said, you don't want to ignore Tate. And so they stay up their two-game losing streak of a win over 35-14 victory over Pensacola Booker T. Washington. And now the Aggies, their most wins since the 2017 season where they had 7 wins. So got to give it to the Aggies. Got to. There you go. Oh man. We got the comments rolling here, and we're going to talk about that here in a moment here because in a couple moments. David, I see your comment in the box. We'll get to it. Promise, because I know that's going to be a comment, and you're probably going to go back when we do the Drive the State show after this. You will want to talk about as well. All right. Let's roll this here. Like I said, you don't want to ignore Tate. Don't want to. You might regret it. So just keep an eye on them. So, all right, Jay. Looking at continuing the best season since 2007. That's when head coach Elijah Bell was the time the head coach there, and he's one of the founding fathers of the rural classification. Pushed and advocated it for years, and of course, Coach Bell was already out of coaching by the time it officially became to be. But Jay, looking really, really good. How about this? They were off last week, got some rest, and they got Weewa Hitchika. Weewa Hitchika kind of not so good this year, but Jay could continue on that role. And man, talk about the Jay Royals right now. How about this? On the season, they are 7-1, 2 games left on the season, and got to give it to them. They're in the top 5 right now of all Class 1A teams. I mean, rural classification teams. See, I said 1A. I knew I would slip up at some point. The rural classification teams in the top 5 right now, and looking pretty good to be in that Division A bracket for the playoffs. All right. How about this? Niceville edging Lincoln. Thanks to Connor Matthews. And how about this? Looking at that, you know what? Here's the thing. All right. Yes. How about this? Niceville came that close. Yes, that close to losing the game against Lincoln, and they were up 31-7 at one point. But Connor Matthews, according to Seth Stringer at the Northwest Florida Daily News, on his 18th birthday, caught a screen pass 30 yards right up the sideline and put the Eagles in business. And man, you talk about Matthews took another screen, which was on following a massive 3rd and 10 completion. Matthews took another screen pass 14 yards to the house, and that lifted them to that 38-35 win. And this is where I bring in the comment from David Klosowski, because he is bringing up a point that we will talk about. And we discussed as a possibility happening. And it sure enough has happened right now in the current rankings that we will talk about coming up around 9:30 on the Drive the State show is Niceville and Mosley. Mosley beat Niceville. Mosley's going to win that district, but Mosley jumped to number 1 last week. But yes, he brings this up. He is disgusted with the 5A1 rankings. He said, why even play games head-to-head? Matchups don't really matter when it comes to seeding. Mosley deserves the number 1 seed if they go undefeated. I hear you on that. And I hear you. The question comes down to the SOS. And let me just go ahead and bring this up here, because I don't put it in my spreadsheet in terms of the strength of schedule, but maybe I should start putting that strength of schedule number. And this is where I'm kind of trying to understand here a couple of things here. But I understand, talking about, going, being 8-0, being, if Mosley goes undefeated, why aren't they getting the number 1 seed? Why is that? And, let's do this. Let's try to do this here. All right. Trying to do this real quick on the fly here and making sure that it's all set correctly. All right. So I believe, okay, 6. Yes. So let's go to 6A Region 1. That's what we want to look at because this will, okay. Yeah, I mean, no, sorry, it's 5A Region 1. Sorry, here we go. 5A Region 1. All right, so the strength of schedule for Niceville is at 8.07. Mosley's is 2.22. That plays a big factor in why, okay, look at the teams that Niceville has played so far. But also remember, the FHA Max Preps power ranking goes infinity deep. So it's not just your opponents. It's not just about how your opponents are doing. It's your opponents' opponents. It's opponents' down, and it circles back multiple times around. That's how it's been explained to me. So the question is, for Niceville, that it's that strength of schedule where I feel like if Mosley may have had one game difference in terms of who they scheduled, I think we wouldn't be talking about potentially why Mosley's number 2 right this second in that region at 8-0, whereas Niceville only has one loss and they're sitting there at the number 1 seed. I think that is the biggest thing between both of those right there, right this second. So, all right, as we roll along here, oh man, Florida High stunning Madison County. Seminoles are now 6-3. Especially after dropping those first few games of the season. Of course, they got on the roll when they beat Hawthorne. And man. Yes, how about that? Florida High stunning Madison County, and it really actually helps Florida High mostly in terms of their playoff positioning. It doesn't really hurt Madison County the fact they lost to Florida High. They're still in the top 5. They're still actually top 3 in terms of the rural classification rankings. So the Cowboys don't really have much to worry about. Not a lot to stress and struggle about right this second. So, but just kind of a little bit of a stunner considering a lot of people thought that Madison County would beat Florida High and roll along there. But as we go roll along, how about another stunner? How about this? Another stunning upset here in terms of Suwannee stunning Taylor County. So it gives Taylor County their second loss of the season. And, oh, gosh. Mark Cannon's like, Florida High should send some players across town. They may get free shoes for helping. Gosh, y'all are cracking me up. No, he's like, you're wrong for that, Mark. Oh man. All right. I see some comments. There's a bunch of comments sitting here in the box here. I'm trying to get to it as we roll along here. So give me a second here. Suwannee stunning Taylor County 27-6, and Jadarius Home 129 yard rushing, 2 touchdowns in that lead, helping lead the Bulldogs to the victory. The home Bulldogs, I should say, because it was a battle of the Bulldogs. And Kyle Brown had a fumble recovery return for a touchdown. So Suwannee beating Taylor County, and that has actually put Suwannee back into the playoff picture all of a sudden. So there you go. But David Klosowski says Niceville has a winless Milton team and a sub 500 Navarre team. Mosley has Gulf Breeze and Florida High, and actually, well, maybe that'll help Mosley right there. But David is saying we can probably blame our local school district for requiring certain games to be scheduled, and it always kind of stinks when centralized scheduling kind of gets in the way of certain things when you shouldn't be playing a couple teams. And but they say, oh, it's about rivalry. Well, when does a rivalry not become a rivalry? When it's all been sitting there, and we'll see there. So. Woo! Oh! This chat is just on fire. All right, as we roll along here with the show here, we got a couple more topics here before we hit the water break for the first water break. St. Joseph escapes Oak Hall. How about this? 16-15, and Adrian Himmler had to booted the go-ahead 25-yard field goal, and Raymond Evans grabbed the game-clinching interception in the final minute to help St. Joseph remain undefeated. That game was played on Thursday night, and that sends Oak Hall to 4-4. St. Joseph Flashes are now 8-0 on the season. So Yeah, Sunshine State Athletic Association. That's some SSA love there. All right. So yes, indeed. All right. I saw a comment in the box here about Chiefland, and Ellis Hall was like, yes, Chiefland bounced back, and they bounced it back big. Yes. Yes, Chiefland bounced back on the roll of their upswing, and head coach Adam Gore has the Indians rolling big time. And how about this 54-0 last week? And they're in the top 5, by the way, and in the rural classification. And they only lost. I mean, they outside of the narrow 13-10 lost to Taylor County in week 8. Chiefland looking pretty doggone good with Adam Gore back in the home in his 3rd stint. There you go. And Ellis Hall was talking about Swanee getting better. There you go, right there. And man, I'm seeing some FSU talk in the chat. What is this? Oh boy. Mark Cannon's like, Chiefland is legit. Yes, they are. They're legit. Adam Gore again back in his 3rd stint there, and those Chiefland Indians are rolling along. And a round of applause goes out to head coach Edwin Farmer at Vanguard. Earns his 100th victory as the head coach of the Knights. And it come with a 7-0 victory over South Sumter. And I know there's a lot of talk about South Sumter. And could South Sumter miss the playoffs? And, oh, man. And Stephen Thatch says South Sumter took a tough call in the end zone that took a touchdown away at the end. And yeah, it was a battle of defenses right there. And unfortunately, South Sumter took the L. And Vanguard's got to win. South Sumter still sitting there looking on the outside, looking in for the playoffs in Class 3A Region 2. And Reno says, woohoo, Vanguard, go Knights. And Ellis Hall is like, wow, 100, wow. And number 100, wow. And Sean Crystal Graham says, what's your thoughts on Mariana? Wow. I mean, holy schmoly about Mariana. Rolling along. How about this? The Mariana Bulldogs are 9-0, 1 win away from going 10-0. And but that 9-0 may not be enough to get them towards the top seed in Class 2A Region 1 because there's some pretty good, strong teams ahead of them, like Pensacola Catholic Bulls and Gadsden County. So, but hey, being in the top 4 in that region, hey, that's still pretty good pickings right there. And all right, we got to be careful about the hey. Just one piece of advice. In any of the comments in any of the threads, let's keep the profanity out of it. So if I see profanity in the chat, I can't bring it up on the screen. So we will keep it right there. All right. So all right. With that said, we are going to take our first water break of the show, and then we'll come back and we'll have another round of Blitz Lines Part 2 because there's a lot more to get to here as we march towards the Jacksonville area with a lot of the headlines and a lot of stuff to talk about. You're watching the North Florida Blitz right here on FloridaHSFootball.com. We'll be right back after this 2-minute water break. All right, welcome back here to the North Florida Blitz right here on FloridaHSFootball.com. And as we come to you live here with the show, and if you got any questions, comments, and anything that you want to talk to us about, hit us up in the comment box because the chat has been on fire tonight, especially those watching on the YouTube side. But if you're watching us from anywhere, regardless of the social media platform, you can comment, you can leave us a comment and talk to us, and we'll put, most likely if we see the comment and it's looking good enough, we will post a comment and we will share it right here on FloridaHSFootball.com, right here on the screen. All right, as we rolling along here as we talk about the next set of blitz lines, and let's get into it. Yes, indeed. How about Reigns? We're pretty per usually come in here commenting about Reigns, and we're talking about some Reigns here. How about this? Reigns 44, Creekside 14. They keeping the undefeated ways going, and TJ Cole again, really just rocking and rolling there. A pair of scores for the Vikings, but Creekside just couldn't get anything going. Creekside now 4-4 on the season, and Reigns it now moves to 7-0. So the Reigns Vikings rolling along pretty soundly as we roll along here. How about the Bulls Bulldogs? Bulls rolls Riverside back to the other side of the river. There you go. There's my quip of the night. There you go. There's my quip. I'll give myself a round of applause. All right, CJ Ennis picked off 2 passes and returned 1 for a touchdown as the Bulls overcame their injuries, and Bulls now 7-1 in the season. Riverside now 4-4, and the Bulldogs they are looking pretty solid and looking pretty good for a playoff positioning to the playoffs in Class 2A Region 1. And this one, really, here you go. Here's your head scratcher. How about this one? Mandarin escapes Fletcher by a hair. Yes, 8-0 was the final score. And Dante Perry's touchdown run in the third quarter was the one that finally broke the defensive struggle. And honestly, man, Mandarin 6-2, 2-0 in their district. And we're going to talk about setting up a showdown. We're going to kind of be setting up. Yeah, we're going to talk about setting up a showdown here between Mandarin and Oakleaf. Oakleaf, how about this for Oakleaf this past week? Oakleaf 28, Ed White 14, and about Christopher Floyd II. He got the go-ahead touchdown, he actually had 2 touchdowns on the night. Oakleaf now 6-2. Ed White now 5-3. But how about this? Oakleaf looking pretty good at a potential district title in Class 6A District 2. Yes, the Oakleaf Knights looking pretty good, and Mandarin right now sitting there in a position that is not probably the most precarious, a very precarious position, I should say. And the Mustangs are kind of looking a little worrisome. 8-0 against Fletcher. You can't get the offense going, and Oakleaf has been getting their offense going, and they got some defense, and we'll talk about more about that in the pick 6 coming up here in the next little bit. I see some Buchholz talk going on, so we're gonna have to bring this up into the comment. Mark Cannon's like Buchholz has had trouble getting their footing all year. Honestly, Buchholz right now 5-3. They've had some trouble. They did have some trouble. At one point they had a lead against Manatee when they played them weeks ago. But after that, it just they collapsed. And honestly, this is not you don't have Buchholz doesn't have the playmakers that they had over the last few years on those state semifinal runs. That's the difference. And honestly, we will talk about that coming up here in the pick 6. And as we roll along, how about this? Nice continues to roll ahead. Nice now 6-0 on the season. Storms Atlantic Coast 44-12. Oh, thanks, Mark. Thanks. You got me there. All right. Anyways, Nate Henry still having a really heck of a season here, and honestly, It was important of a rushing game for the Panthers. And how about this? 3 different players all scoring for Nice, and Alicia LaRocca picking off 2 passes, and there was also a scoop and score for the Nice Panthers. And Coach Colin Drafts got the Nice Panthers looking really, really good, and they're sitting at the top of their region still in Class 6A Region 1. So how about that for the Nice Panthers? Most likely will clinch that district here coming up this week. I think they got Turquoise Creek on the schedule this week, and most likely we'll take care of business there. But yeah, Ellis, you're right. I mean, the Buchholz players went to Newberry and vice versa. Yeah, there was a couple player swap arounds between one player leaving from Buchholz to Newberry, and then one going from Newberry to Buchholz. So yeah, there was kind of a bit of swap around there, but there you go. All right, Ponte Vedra. Looking prime for the playoffs, 35-6 over Orange Park. Brian Case, 152 yards on the ground, 4 total touchdowns, and that puts the Sharks done with their district schedule, finished 3-1. However, we will talk more about this district because District 5A3, this is a loaded district. That is a loaded district where it looks like 4 teams are going to come out of that district and head to the playoffs based upon the current power ratings. But we're going to talk about that in a moment. But how about this? We got to talk about St. Augustine stinging Bartram Trail here for a moment here. And, talking about St. Augustine, talking about the Yellow Jackets, looking pretty doggone good against Bartram Trail, 48-21 victory. Trendle Anderson, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns on 18 carries. And St. Augustine, how does St. Augustine compare? Mark Cannon brings up a good question. How does St. Augustine compare to last year? Well, they're pretty good. I mean, I wish they had gotten that game against Bulls, but weather, Mother Nature kind of impacted that one. But they're gonna be a pretty good team. They're gonna go deep in the playoffs. I just don't know if they're the team that's gonna reach a state championship game. That's my only question. Giving Class 4A. You've got Miami, Norland, you got American Heritage downstate, you got Naples, Port Charlotte. They're looking pretty doggone good. You got Jones sitting there in Region 2. The question is can they get to the state championship? That is the biggest question, and I just don't know if they have it this year. If we were still Metro Suburban, I would put them into the state title game, but that's not the case here. So with that said, we will roll along here. Going back to the talk about the trying to pop up a comment. I apologize there. Reno's like, hey, you can't pick the Bulls to win anyway. So I mean, oh boy, there you go. Anyways, going back to District 5A3 here, Beachside out muscles Middleburg 44-18. Eddie Jordan accounted for 4 touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing, and swarmed for the giving Beachside their first ever district victory. And Middleburg now, after starting off the season 6-0, is now 6-2, 1-2 in the district. And speaking of that district, because of Beachside beating Middleburg, Fleming Island wins that district. They're 5-3. Fleming Island wins that district, and they didn't even play a district game Friday night. They played Terry Parker in a non-district contest. Fleming Island 51, Terry Parker 24. But the Golden Eagles clinched the District 5A3 championship again with Middleburg dropping that district game against Beachside. It had Middleburg won and beat Beachside. Fleming Island Fleming Island would have needed to beat Middleburg this coming week to get the district title, but not so the case now. Fleming Island now district champs and under interim head coach, which I think maybe at some point the interim tag may actually get taken off if it hasn't been already. But Derek Cipoletti. His father Neil was the first head coach there, but Derek Cipoletti took over when the previous head coach resigned right before the season started. And head coach Chad Parker, he resigned after 1 year, and Derek Cipoletti took over right as the season was starting. And now Fleming Island looking like they have a district title under their belt. All right, Union County continuing the undefeated streak. How about this? Those Tigers 7-0, and they beat Trinity Catholic. I mean, literally thumped them 54-16. And Trinity Catholic, I mean, Yes, Reno. They finally getting some things together there, but Union County kind of just rolling there, and they just rolled along. Rolling those Celtics. I mean, the Celtics right there. I mean, Trinity Catholic, they 1-7 on the season. It's hard to believe that we're talking about Trinity Catholic, and they are 1-7. And that's after playing in 2 state title games the past 2 years. And I can tell you this right now, they've got PK Young this week. PK Young is right now sitting there ranked higher than Trinity Catholic. My question at this particular point is, can PK Young pull off what I didn't think would happen at the start of the season? And that's Trinity Catholic winning the district, PK Young finishing second, because there's only one district game for District 1A4. Is there a chance that PK Young can beat Trinity Catholic? If you got a thought on that, put it in the comment. I'm kind of curious to hear everybody's thought, because there's a chance that PK Young could beat Trinity Catholic. Just because Trinity Catholic has just been struggling. I mean, their only win this season so far is against Ocala Forest. That should tell you something. There you go. And by the way, I think Newberry has Trinity Catholic coming up at the end of the season, I want to say. So, oh boy. Oh, Reno, you're saying it will come down to the fourth quarter. I believe you. It could be. You're right. It could be who has the heart to win that game. I definitely agree with you on that one. That definitely could be what it could be there. But Ellis is like TC's threw in the towel. You're thinking PK rolls. Okay, well, let's see what happens. We'll see what happens come Friday night. See if PK Young Blue Wave wins the district title, which I have to go way back into the record book to probably find when the last time PK Young won a district title in football. So keep that in mind. Anyways, how about Providence as we wrap up the Blitz Lines Part 2? Providence 42, Kip Bold City 12, and Providence looking really, really good. I mean, it's just been Mason Williams. It's been Azariel Herod, Cameron Ross. I mean, Sam Hayward's been doing a lot of stuff as well. I mean, Providence is looking a really, really good all-around team. And I want to say they have not played Trinity Christian this year. I don't think they have, but could be a potential seeing what could happen there as well. But Jonathan Ferris, are you asking me about Lincoln Ocala? Yes, you are. And actually, you will hear my thoughts about that game coming up in the Pick 6. So I'm not going to give it away just yet. Oh, PK Young, maybe when Chris... Whoa! My goodness. Yes. Well, on the break, I'm gonna have to pull something up. Ellis, you really got me. You got me something there. But we got the water break coming up here. All right. So we got our second water break of the show. We're gonna come back, and then we've got the fan question of the week, and then we'll go from there. But yes, we're gonna take our 2-minute water break. We'll be right back right after this here on the North Florida Blitz. Welcome back here on the North Florida Blitz here. And I got to see if this is going to work here because hopefully the audio is what I want to do and pull up because what Ellis brought up, I mean, what was saying that, and this is the first thing that comes to mind, and hopefully it works here as I pull it up here. Give me a second here to get it up here. Hopefully it'll let me play it. Okay, it should come through the audio here on the side here, so hopefully that'll help here in just a moment here. Let's see if we got it. Yeah, so Doring's got a touchdown. That's what I first thought came into my head. Doring's got a touchdown. There you go. There you go. There you go. Ooh, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Yes, indeed. Wow. All right. I appreciate everybody joining us here. And hey, Jonathan Ferris, you got a birthday Saturday. All right. Happy birthday to you, buddy. And wait, you're just getting another year younger. There you go. That's all I say. Everybody's getting younger. There you go. All right. So as we get ready here, you know what time it is? Yeah, I know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is because I know what time it is. What time is it? It is time for the pick six for week number 10. Yes, indeed. It is week 10. It's hard to believe it's week 10. And yeah, we need three claps on the Ric Flair. Woo! There you go. All right, let's roll with this along here. At least we roll along. Dang! I don't feel younger. You can't believe you're 34. Well, Jonathan, oh man. I'll be 38 in December. So I'll be hard to believe. Yes, I am. I'm almost basically a Christmas baby, people. So there you go. Little tidbit about yours truly. All right, as we roll into it here. Hey, I was 4-2 last week. Reno was 4-2. There you go. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my. This chat is just literally on fire. Reno's like, I'm doing good on these picks. Ellis Hall's like, woo. Mark Cannon says he's coming after Reno, and Reno's telling me I need to wait till 40. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I know. I can feel it coming, actually. So, and I can actually already see it in the hairs because some of them are starting to go gray. Noli's like, try. Jonathan, if I kept track of all the picks, I was writing down because Reno's kind of doing some stuff here with me. But keep your picks down. Write them down as you're going through. So let's go. Let's do this. Let's talk about the picks here. I'm 33-18 right now, about 65% right on the season so far on the picks here on the North Florida Blitz. All right, let's go rolling into Holmes County, 5-3 at Bluntstown, 5-2. Yes, Bluntstown's been making some moves in the rankings there. Holmes County kind of slipping up a little bit, but this could be for Bluntstown to get higher playoff positioning or Holmes County in the rural classification. But Tigers been looking pretty good as of late. And again, remember, you can play along, put your picks there, put your picks into the comment box wherever you're watching us at Facebook, Twitter, X/Twitter, or YouTube. And let's go rolling along with the picks here. My pick for this week is Bluntstown. All right. Jonathan Ferris says he's going to take Bluntstown. Reno is like a coin flip does not help on this. Mark Cannon's going Bluntstown, and Noli is going Bluntstown. And Reno, you're going Holmes County. All right. So Reno is taking Holmes County. And that could be, Holmes County could come in and have the upset. And then there you go. and Holmes by a hair. So Ellis Hall. So okay, there's some picks for Holmes County sitting there. So, but I'm going Bluntstown. So there is my pick for this week on that one. All right, Reno, here you go. Newberry 6-2 at Williston 4-3. Boy, what has happened with the Red Devils this year? They have some high moments, and then they have some low moments. Newberry, high moments, obviously. And as you know, Newberry has a district title, sitting there looking pretty good in their region, except that they can't crack the code on Bradford in terms of the ranking. They've cracked the code on the field. They just got to crack the code in the playoff ranking, but we'll see what happens here. Hopefully, maybe Newberry surges into that number 1 spot. But right now, as it stands, Newberry's sitting there in that number 2 spot in their region. All right, Panthers looking pretty good. Took care of business against Fort White in their last home game. So next 2 road games here, Newberry at Williston and Newberry at Trinity Catholic. And honestly, good little old rivalry game right there along Highway 27 there between the western end of Alachua County and the eastern end of Levy County. And I'll go with my pick. How about Newberry? I'm taking Newberry. Ellis Hall is going with the Berry. Mark Cannon's going Newberry. Nolly's going Newberry. Jonathan Ferris is taking Newberry. And my guy Reno, does he have to even give the pick? Williston's an old district rival. We beat them every year. I played them. Newberry to state. Oh, man, that's ambitious. That's ambitious. And as Williston what the bed? Has Williston done something? I mean, it's just maybe it just doesn't have really, I think it's coming down to the athletes, I think, Ellis. And Mark Gaines as Archer will be rocking. Yeah. Because Archer to Newberry, you live in Archer, you go to Newberry High. So, yes, you're right. You're definitely right about that. So, there it is. Newberry for the pick on the pick'ems. Buchholz at Bartram 12, 5-3. Buchholz at Bartram 12, 3-4. Buchholz had to win early last week against DeCoy Creek. Justin Williams with 7 touchdowns, and they were off this past Friday night. Bartram Trail 3-4. Got that stung by the Yellow Jackets of St. Augustine. And honestly, ooh dear. Yeah, I am. Man, Buchholz, Bartram Trail. Some people think Bartram Trail could come back and roll and be like, they could get a big win here. And they really, honestly, I'll tell you this right now. I'll tell you this right now. For Bartram Trail, they need to win this game. And they need to win this game because right now they're back on the outside looking in. But, Buchholz, you're in the top 4 right now in your region. You lose this game, you could be in the 5 through 8 range. So in this game, I'm going with. I mean, honestly, I got to roll along with this. I'm going with Buchholz. I'm going the safe bet here. Buchholz has to have this, and Bartram Trail needs this. But honestly, at the end of the day, there you go. Ellis Hall saying Bobcats by a claw. Nolly, you're going with belt buckles. Does that mean you're going with Bartram Trail or Buchholz? I need a clarification who you're referring to belt buckles. I'm going to go with belt buckles. Okay. We'll see what happens. Jonathan Ferris says coin flip for me, but he's taking Bartram Trail to bounce back. Mark Cannon's going Bartram Trail. And Marino's like, Ellis, not by claw, by scratch. Oh, okay, Nolly, you good thing. Buchholz, all right. And Reno did say he is going. Buchholz needs this win, but without it, they are done. Buchholz on the road for the win. So he's taking Buchholz for the win. All right, let's roll along here as we got to get wrapped up here with this show so we can get ready for Drive the State. Taylor County 6-2 at Gadsden County 7-1. All right, Taylor County coming off that upsetting loss against Suwannee. Here's the thing. If Taylor County beats Gadsden County, it creates chaos in their district. That includes Florida High, would put a 3-way tie, would cause the computer to need to break the rankings. Could Taylor County learn from this and bounce back? I'm sure they can. But here's the thing. Gadsden County has just been playing really, really good football. They had Coffee County up in Georgia on the threads a few weeks ago. And Gadsden County is just a hard team to crack the code on. and I'm rolling with the Gadsden County Jaguars here, and it's just going to be really it will give Gadsden County a district win and a district title and a guaranteed playoff berth. Always going Gadsden County. Jonathan Ferris rolling with Gadsden County. Let's see what Ellis and Mark Cannon have to say. And then, of course, I'm waiting on Reno to give me that heart with Taylor, but he's picking Gadsden County, Mark Cannon says. And Reno, here we go. Reno says another great game this week. Gadsden County is just good. They have the wall from the Game of Thrones on their side. Ooh, man. So he's going Gadsden County here in this game. And Ellis Hall's like, Taylor needs a win. Georgia always seems to smoke for the teams. Taylor has nothing to lose. But, yes, Gadsden County. You think Gadsden County's going to win here. So, but, yep. There you go. All right, let's roll into our next game. Game number 5, Mandarin 6-2 and Oakley 6-2. We alluded to this game earlier. The Mustangs have to really figure out their offensive performance. Oakleaf is no joke. Oakleaf will create stops. They will create havoc. They also have a high-powered offense. Now, their defense is good for Mandarin. Can they shut Christopher Floyd down? That is the question. And honestly, the way Mandarin's been playing, I'm kind of concerned. I had picked Mandarin to be district champs at the start of the season. But honestly, I'm not feeling that way about Mandarin now because of what has happened earlier in the season. I am going Oakleaf. Yes, I am going Oakleaf. Nolly's going Mandarin. Okay, I get it. Jonathan Ferrison's going Mandarin, but I'm just feeling like Oakleaf may just have this one. I'm telling you. I feel like Oakleaf may just have it. So Oakleaf does not recognize the fall yet and stays on the tree. Oakleaf for the win. Okay. I like that quip. I like it, Reno. All right. So, and Ellis Hall said Oakleaf will not fall. So we're kind of a split in the chat here about who's going to win that one. And then last but not least, Jonathan Ferris, you've been waiting for this one. O'Galley 8-0 versus Lincoln 6-2. All right. I don't think O'Galley has seen anyone this tough yet. The closest competition they have seen tough, and they really whooped them a few weeks ago, was Orange City University. But Lincoln is a whole nother team. O'Galley has not seen a team like Lincoln because Lincoln has played a tough schedule, and Lincoln coming off that heartbreaking 38-35 loss to Niceville. But there ain't going to be no heartbreak in Tallahassee this week because my pick is going to Lincoln. And Lincoln has definitely got it. And Noli is going with the Trojans. And, yes, this is the game of the week. Yes, indeed. And Jonathan Ferris saying, I got Lincoln. They will bounce back after the loss to Niceville. I believe you as well on that one. And Stephen Fatch says, Lincoln could make a push with the 2 seed if they beat O'Galley, Rickards, and Mosley loses to Florida High based on strength of schedule. That is a possibility. You're right, Stephen. That could happen. And as we roll all along here, we got some more picks. Ellis Hall saying Lincoln. Mark Cannon saying per Lincoln Intel will be Lincoln. O'Galley, nice team, though. Yeah, you're right. And Michael Reno is saying this: 4 scores and 7 points for the win, Lincoln. Wow, I like that. All right. Okay, that is the pick 6 for week number 10 here as we wrap up here with the North Florida Blitz. And guys, it's been fun. Okay, we're rolling we're a few minutes behind. I got to get things wrapped up, finished and roll ready for Coach Steve adds anything. Oh, Galley. Ooh. We may have started the pot here a little bit. All right. But I got to get things ready to go for the Drive the State show. We might not be on until maybe about 9:35, 9:40, just because I've got to finish up because, again, the FSA got the rankings out late, and Jonathan Ferris says great show, and I definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you as well. Thank you for everybody for joining us here on the North Florida Blitz. Get ready for the Drive the State show coming up here a little after 9:30. We'll be back next week with our shows, the South Florida Blitz and the North Florida Blitz next Tuesday night. All right, see you soon for the Drive to State show. Appreciate it. See y'all soon here, right here on the 4HSFootball.com social media networks.